Physical fitness is one of those cornerstone habits that impacts a lot of different areas. Focusing on physical fitness is going to help your business because you're going to be more confident. You're going to be more mentally acute. You're also going to watch what you eat, which could lead you to your budgeting, to manage your budget a little better on how much this food costs. And it just filters into all these areas.
Kill Complacency, a podcast that inspires growth and intentionality and helps you overcome your greatest obstacles.
So today my guest is named Kurt Phillips, and I met Kurt at Savvy Investor real estate meetup in Oklahoma City, probably about a month ago. And we hit it off right away because we both love real estate, we both homeschool, and we both love running or staying fit. So I know, Kurt, you're I would say world champion triathlon, right?
Not quite world champion, but I am a triathlete.
Yeah. And you're a financial freedom expert. I mean, you and your wife coach that stuff. So could you kind of share your journey to financial freedom and maybe talk about your running or triathlon stuff as well?
Yeah, it kind of all weaves together. So, I was a UPS driver I worked for UPS for 12 years, and I was a driver for about 9 of those years. And at that time, I wasn't doing any training because all my training was basically my job. It's a pretty high-paced job and required it's a physical job, and I didn't mind it. I actually am probably like you, Marty. We're kind of a high-energy guy anyway, so it was perfect for me because it kept me moving and kept me active, and I love that. So, but anyway, I never pictured myself doing that. It wasn't something I thought this is what I'm going to make a career out of. It's just kind of where I landed, and I'm like, well, if they're going to pay me this much to deliver boxes, it seems to make sense. Well, over time, I like to say I didn't mind the job, but it was kind of like I was wearing somebody else's shoes. It just didn't fit me. It didn't fit our family for what we wanted to do. And so I became obsessed with when I heard, first of all, I got a hold of Rich Dad Poor Dad, just like most people, right?
Yeah.
And when I realized there was this thing called financial freedom, that I didn't have to just do this job for the rest of my career, I was obsessed with trying to find a way out. And so that's what led us down this path to where we are now, which I walked out of UPS in like we were just talking about, November of 2016, to do real estate full time. And at the time when I left, I didn't know that I would never go back to get a job, but I sure hoped I wouldn't. And I haven't. It hasn't always been easy, certainly, but we've been able to do real estate full time. We've been able to accomplish a semblance of, I call it a semblance of financial freedom. I guess there's always levels of financial freedom, right? But there's no threat of me having to go pound the pavement, turning in a resume that no employer would be interested in anyway. I'm totally unemployable now because I've been an entrepreneur for however long, 8 years. But yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell. That was kind of our brief journey into that. It was super scary. When I made the decision to leave UPS, I was really blessed to have a couple of men in my life that gave me the green light. One being my father-in-law, what father-in-law says this, right? He literally told me, if you're going to do this, just do it. Your kids aren't going to starve because you're going to make sure they're not going to. And it was things like that that gave me the freedom to say, he's right. Like, my kids aren't going to starve. I'm going to find a way to make sure there's food on the table. I don't know how, but I will find a way. And then there were other men in my life as well that said, Kurt, just go for it. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You have to go get another job. And so that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did.
Were these other men, were they entrepreneurs or were they W-2 guys?
They were all entrepreneurs.
So they knew.
All the W-2 guys told me I was crazy. All of them.
Yeah. Was your wife right on board right away?
She was, she's an amazing woman. I couldn't do it without her.
Hmm.
She has always put a tremendous amount of faith in me and trust in me. Um, and so far I've not let her down. Although I've gotten us into some pretty sticky situations, but she's always stood by my side and we've worked it out. But yeah, no, she was totally on board. There was
Hmm.
actually one day when we first started this journey when I was at UPS. We had just bought a house. We owned a duplex at the time. We lived in the duplex, rented out the other half. And then I was 34, 33 years old when we actually bought our first single family house to live in, right? We
Mm.
always lived in that duplex, um, professional tightwads at work. But when we bought that house, so we went for a walk, and I'll never forget it because we were going for this walk. It was a beautiful day, sun was shining, whatever. We're on this new property that we just bought, and it hit me, and I turned and looked at her and said, "For the first time in my life, I feel trapped.
Mm.
I can't leave this job now because I
Mm.
have to pay this mortgage. I have to pay this for this property we just bought." And in that moment, I didn't know it, but she started packing
Mm.
because she saw something in me that was like, This is not how this story is going to end." And so she
Mm.
literally started packing and she went on this minimalist journey. She wrote a book on minimalism. Like it's amazing how things,
What's
little
her book
things
called?
take minimalism room by room.
Okay.
Yeah. Elizabeth Enright Phillips. But yeah. So it's on Amazon. It's whatever. It's pretty cool that she wrote a book. Uh, but anyway, yeah. So she started packing, and she was totally on board. And when I left UPS, she was supportive the whole way.
Mm.
Uh, we've walked it all out together the whole time. We truly are a team that
Yeah.
does this together.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, how hard was it to leave UPS?
It's excruciating. It was so hard. I wish I could say it wasn't. It was so hard, man. I lost sleep over it. I mauled over it. I wrote that resignation letter, I don't know how many times, and edited it and rewrote like it mattered, but it seemed so big to me. And the night before I turned in that letter, I couldn't sleep.
Mm.
I mean, I bet you I sweated through my sheets laying in that bed. I just couldn't think of anything else. And when I handed it to my boss, I was shaking like a leaf. I
Mm.
was just totally like, "What am I doing?" Um, and he even looked at me and said, "Whew, you're a better man than me. I could never do it." And
Wow.
it was like, "Okay, all right, here we go." So it was really hard.
Over the years, I have been coached by countless mentors, and now I want to offer that to you as well. How? By Marty Hofmann's Life Coaching. This will be a 6-week program in which I will guarantee you will develop a more growth mindset. We will set goals and learn about the importance of the processes and habits behind those goals. I will also help you see your story differently as things happening for you, not to you. We will also be discussing your future self and give you clarity on who that is and what it looks like. For more information, please follow the link below or hop on martyhoffman.com and follow the coaching link. Kurt, if you could go back 9 years and talk to yourself a week before that letter, what would you tell yourself?
That's an amazing question. I would I would tell myself, "You'll figure it out.
Mm.
You're gonna figure it out." I know that seems ultra simple, but I didn't know that I could. I didn't know if I had what it took. I'll just I'll just be honest. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
because I'd never done anything like that before. I've always been I have a college education, but I've always worked blue collar jobs.
Mm.
Always, I worked concrete. I was a Teamster union. So I didn't know if I had what it took, and so if I could say that to myself, I'd say, "You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. You're
Mm.
gonna go through some really hard times, and it's gonna look sketchy, but you'll figure it out."
Yeah. Uh, Speaking of hard times, what was the hardest time?
What do you mean, like from when I left to now,
Like
or
in the last decade, what's been one of the biggest mess ups that Kurt's made that you're like, oh, I got to dig myself out of this one?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. Um, I would say, oh gosh, I okay, I got a couple of them. Can I give you a couple of them?
Sure.
One is I was such a knucklehead. Okay, I when I left my job, it didn't occur to me that banks wouldn't lend to me anymore. so Uh, so I went to my banker. I had a deal under contract, a duplex, and I went to my banker, and he's like, he'd done two deals for me. I had six stores when I left my job. So brought it to him, and he said, bring me all the usual suspects, right? Your W-2s or whatever. And I said, well, I don't have a job anymore. I left my job. And literally, he put his pen down. He looked up at me and he was like, well, that was dumb. And then he
Oh.
started laughing. He just started laughing. And I'm like, "What just happened?" And, he's like, "Kurt, I can't give you any money." He's like, "You shouldn't have left your job. You should have talked to me first." And that was a moment that literally I thought my business was done before it even got started. Because I didn't know private money existed. I didn't know
Yeah.
any of this stuff. Like, the only way I knew how to buy property was put 20% down, conventional to it. So that was my first, like, I panicked. I had no idea how I was gonna do that.
Okay.
Um,
So now tell me, what was the solution?
Private money.
Yeah.
Private money was the solution. As soon as I raised money for that deal, actually, I begged for money on that deal. I didn't raise anything. I begged, and fortunately, I had a family member that not bailed me out, but helped me buy it. I didn't know that that was called private money. I didn't.
Mhm.
I just knew I needed money because I couldn't buy it. And then I later found. I met a gentleman who coached me, hired him as a coach to teach me how to basically build a real estate business,
Mhm.
and he taught me how to raise private money, and that changed everything for our business. As soon as we did that, it lifted the lid on our limits of what we could do because it no longer hinged on Kurt and Elizabeth's
Mhm.
personal financials, which were basically non-existent.
The reason I wanted you to tell that story, and I didn't know where you're going, but we often put ourselves in a bad situation, but everything is figure outable. And a lot of times, right, when we're in that situation and we figure it out, we're actually in a better position. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're happier with your state now with private money than going to the bank each time and putting down 20%.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's so much easier and quicker, and I use the same private money lenders over and over again, and it's just yeah, it's amazing. I don't have to give them all this documentation and
Mhm.
hope and pray that they're gonna give me money and how much it's such a racket. I just it's hard for me to work with banks now. I work with
Yeah.
them still to refinance my portfolio, after I fix it up and go, after the rehab is done, and
Mhm.
that's hard enough, man. I get pretty impatient with them when I'm sending them something for the fourth time that I
Yeah.
know that I've sent them, but they don't dare say that they lost it, right? They won't tell
Yeah.
me they lost it. They just say, "Hey, we didn't receive this." I'm like,
Yeah.
I know you did.
Yeah, that's good. Well, and I appreciate you sharing it just because a lot of times our fears hold us back, right? From the unknown. But when we put ourselves out there and conquer the fears, we find a solution, and the solution oftentimes is the next tier of learning and growing we get to do. So,
Totally. Totally. And there's always something else that comes up, right? There's always where they say new level, new devil. And
mhm.
there's always more to learn.
Yeah. Did you say early on, Kurt, that you lived in a duplex and you rented
I
out the
did.
other side? You house hacked.
Hmm.
So that was, and you guys did that before you knew it was a thing, right?
Oh yeah, this was back in 2002,
Mhm.
I think, when we bought that. So I don't know if Brandon Turner, who coined the phrase, was he even born yet. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm sure he was. He's
Uh,
old. But, no, we had no idea. It was literally at the suggestion of my pastor. My pastor said, because I was a youth pastor at the time, and, worked part-time at UPS and was a youth pastor before I went on full time. But anyway, he actually said, "Hey, my wife and I did this, and it worked out
Mm.
really well. Maybe it'd work for you guys." And my wife was going for a run, right? Because we're a running family, and she went for a run and saw a duplex for sale, and said,
Mm.
"Well, here's one. Let's try." And
Mm.
so I had a '71 Nova at the time, a classic car. I sold that car for a little over 7,000, which was enough for the most of the down payment.
Mm-hmm.
And this gives you an idea what was going on with our economy at the time, or with the mortgage market. So, and then I got, so that was part of the down payment. Well, I got a second mortgage at 12% from the bank for the rest of the down payment
Mm.
for that duplex. So, and my first mortgage was like 8.5% or something, which
Yeah.
we thought was fantastic at the time.
Yeah. But you essentially then you were able to put a tenant in, and
Mhm.
did it pay your full mortgage or most of it?
You know what? They paid, their rent was really low, and we didn't raise the rent on them for a while. So no, I think it covered our mortgage, but it didn't cover our taxes and our insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that was
So a
massive
big
for us.
chunk of it. Yeah.
Huge, huge. Yeah, I mean, we didn't pay rent. We weren't paying rent
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, and we were building equity, which we didn't even really think of that.
Do you guys still have that duplex?
Oh yeah, yeah. In fact, we just refinanced it for the first time. That and another one to buy basically a short-term rental, a
Mm.
pretty large, like lodge short-term rental. So that property has been an amazing blessing to us. I
Mm.
mean, we had no idea. It's the best financial decision I've ever made in my life, was buying that duplex,
Yeah.
bar none.
Well, and the amount of leverage and credibility it gave you with other lenders down the road too was huge too.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they saw it as an asset, because it,
Mm-hmm.
it is an asset, because it's cash flowing, it's producing income. So yeah, it's been huge. It's been huge. Anybody that's getting started, that's how I always tell them, like, if you can, like, sometimes people have families and it's a little tougher, but
Mm-hmm.
especially if they're starting out, if they're just a young couple, they got a baby, or even just single, that's what I tell them all. I said, the best thing you could do is buy a multifamily,
Mm.
some kind of multifamily, and live in it, bar none.
Yeah. If you want to wear a billboard of a message of kill complacency or live intentionally, then check out my merch store. It's www.mindsetshop.com. Mindset is with an X, so it's MINDXET shop, SHOP.com. Mindsetshop.com. I'm just curious, if you don't mind sharing, what did you buy it for in 2002? And what did it refinance at? Like, how much has it grown?
Yeah, so we're not even in a real appreciable market.
Mm-hmm.
Our market's pretty steady,
Mm-hmm.
but even so, we bought it for 120,000. Uh, Pre-COVID, it was only worth probably 150,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's worth 260, just in the last 5
Yeah,
years.
it's crazy. And the whole time someone else has been paying your debt.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's powerful.
It's
Yeah.
and that's how you get your financial freedom, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it. I mean, I meet with a friend of mine pretty regularly, and we talk about it, and we say, at what point can you live off of debt? Like, could you just live off the equity of your
Mm-hmm.
properties, where you're constantly just pulling out debt every year from your portfolio and living on it? Like, is that a thing? I mean, this is stuff that we think through and we talk about. Like, at what point do you just stop building and live off the debt? I don't know. I'm not condoning that, by the way. I'm not saying that's how you should live. I'm just saying these are the conversations that we have. My wife would not be able to sleep at night if that's what we did.
No, I hear you, and I think there's some. I mean, everyone to their own, but there is some value in that because of the tax advantages and whatnot. But yeah, it's not for everybody as far as having the debt over them.
Right.
But
Yeah, exactly.
it could be financial freedom. I mean, a lot of ultra wealthy people, they keep the debt and refinance tax free and move the money into other assets. So it is a way to do it, I guess.
It is, and you can find other ways to make money, especially if you're chasing down your financial freedom. How much do you really need to live on? If you could
Mhm.
figure out that freedom number of what exactly you need, not 10 grand a month, exactly to the penny, how much do you need to live on? And if you already own rental properties, you might be able to pull out equity from one or two
Mhm.
of your properties to pay for a year, so you're living a year ahead. So
Mhm.
if it takes you $70,000 to live for the year, if you could pull out $70,000 from a rental portfolio, live on that for the year, and that gives you a runway of a year not to do nothing. If you
Yeah.
do nothing, it's going to catch up to you. But if you figure out a way to earn more money coming in, which you'll be able to because you no longer have the pesky job that's taking mental bandwidth from you.
Yeah.
Instead, you're going to have time to think, time to strategize, time to talk to people and network and not be bothered by if I take a day off or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and you'll make more money doing that. So in that scenario, you're right. I agree with you. I think that that would be very advantageous for someone trying to leave their job. Gosh, if you got equity in a property, who cares about the interest rate? I've heard that so many times. They say, "Well, man, I got this 5% interest rate." I'm like, "So what? Do the math. Like, do the math. What's a 7% interest rate? Like, I know it's going to hurt a little, but is it really that big a deal?" I'm just not. I'm not even excited about it. It doesn't make any difference to me.
Yeah.
I get a loan at 7.2%. I need blank, man. We'll just keep trucking. It really not that big a deal, you know?
Yeah. That's good. Um, Talk to me about what are some fruits that you feel like you've achieved because you've quit your job and have more freedom of time to set your schedule and whatnot. I know you've got 6 kids, right?
We do. Yeah.
So how has that do you feel like that has been better or worse? Because I know some people can work extra hard now. Um, so
Yeah.
how has that balancing act been for you?
Oh man, we were able to do everything that we dreamed of doing. I mean, there's still things obviously left on our list that just takes more money to do. But
Mhm.
from a time perspective, uh, I was gone so much. Not just with UPS, but we were building. I was in a network marketing company because man, I was desperate. I would do anything, and so I was building that plus doing all my maintenance myself, and I was just never home. And
Mm.
so when I left UPS, I was like, I went probably too far the other direction where I did next to nothing except hang out with my kids for like the next year, which was a bad idea because that put us in a really awkward financial
Mm.
position. Um, but yeah, and then over time, so that yes, the fruit of that of being with my kids, um, is it was humongous. It was
Mhm.
huge. Total game changer. I've been able to be there for my dad as he ages. He calls me first if he needs anything
Mm.
because I'm the only one of his kids that can just pick up and go help.
Sure.
And what a tremendous blessing that has been to me to serve him,
Mhm.
right? Um, and then, over time though, you do get used to that. And we have gotten complacent over the years
Mm.
with not doing intentional things with the family.
Mm.
We're just around each other, and
Yeah.
then I look at the calendar, I'm like, "We've done nothing special at all."
Okay.
We used to do something special regularly because dad was always gone, and when I was home, it was special. It was special to have me home, so we did something. We went hiking or we visited something. Now,
It's
I've
normal.
realized, so over the past couple of years, I said, we don't do as much of that anymore. And so there is this other side to that coin for
Sure.
sure. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's cool, and at least you're in a position where it is normal for you to be home
Yes,
rather than the other way.
I'll take it. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good trade-off. It's a good trade-off. And I like to work. I mean, in all fairness, I do like to work. I know my dream was to be home, but you can be home too much.
Mhm.
Like, I believe that. I can be home too much. I shouldn't say somebody else. Maybe them no. I can be home too much.
Yeah.
And I have to be out. Like I'm in my office now. We have an office, because I have to be out of the house. I have to be in the community. I have to be out working. Like, it's best for our whole family, me and everybody because you homeschool your kids as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're always home, the homes, they're always home. So, it's good to get out. It's good to get out. So I work a lot, but I work on my own terms now.
That's cool. I just wanted to thank you guys for listening to the end. In closing, I just wanted to add that if this message resonates with you, if it aligns with your values and something in it today triggered something, then you can also look me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We are really trying to help people live more intentional lives to kill the complacency with which they have subscribed to. I know there's many ways in which I get sucked in all the time. So if this is beneficial, follow me there.